I mean, if you do play Marcy core and you don't have like 10 kills, I don't think you can win the game. So, it's a little risky to do. I'm not saying it's impossible to do, but if the game gets slow, and you kind of saw that last game with the support Marcy, you don't really feel like you have much of a purpose if you're not fighting.
Radiant team banned.
Okay.
So they kind of just counterpicked themselves there a bit. Unless this is the Mars mid. I think it's pretty good versus Ember mid.
And the bat versus the monkey.
The bat versus the monkey.
Ah.
We didn't know if he could do it. I wasn't
yeah,
sure
we
if he
don't
could
know
do it.
100%. It was
But
looking like
he's
he could.
he's counterpicking himself here if he goes bat mid versus Ember. Like, people pick Ember versus bat mid.
5
Right.
seconds remaining.
So that wouldn't make any sense. What would make sense is Mars goes mid. It's pretty good versus Ember. You just keep, slamming with your shield, pushing the wave out. No big deal. It's a trade.
Yeah.
And then now you got Bat versus Monkey King, and that's a great matchup.
What about as we get like later into the game? How's the Ember and the Bat fare in like team fights or skirmishes?
The Bat versus Ember? I mean, it's pretty good for the Ember, but I think Bat's just gonna tunnel vision this Monkey King throughout the whole game. Just drag him out of his Wukongs, like put him in positions he doesn't want to be in. It's a very hard counter.
I see.
They'll be trying to get probably multiple Lincolns and stuff to deal with Bat later on.
Yeah.
Definitely Ember will get one, I feel.
Okay.
There's a little anti-synergy here with Bat hoodwinkling, though, because he's gonna break the tree and free him. So I don't know. That one I'm gonna keep an eye on because it's kind of weird. Maybe they don't lane together. Is that a possibility?
Do Ench 4?
That lane would be destruction, I think. Ench 4 plus that.
Okay, so you feel that even Talon's lineup right now has a fair amount of flexibility, places they could go.
I think their draft is amazing if Bat goes off, and their draft is not good if Bat goes mid.
Okay.
It's one small thing like that can just like completely sway this draft for me.
Boom are gonna have to pick first. Out of the two of them, is there an option for them that won't get just absolutely blindsided? Something that still works, adds to the synergy of the team. Anything that they're maybe even missing?
Do people don't aggro tri-lane anymore, but I'd be okay with them aggro tri-laning and picking like some Legion and put in the safe lane. Just try to dodge this Bat matchup. Picking a save could be good too. I'm pretty sold on the Legion. It's pretty good.
This camera has changed again for the player.
He'll get it by next week.
Next series, he'll finally have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what they might want to get. Often, like, I'm trying to think the carries that you want to play into.
Oh, they banned the
Barret.
Legion.
Oh, sorry, not carries. Yeah, they also banned lifesteal. I guess maybe thinking there could be some flex potential.
I mean, I think Boom, we're definitely considering it, right? At this point, like, maybe we should, throw this Monkey on the off lane or put Marcy off lane, and like we pick a new carry because that does make a lot of sense. The other route that they could do is they could go aggro tri-lane. I think that is a decent option. But I have not seen an aggro tri-lane in I feels like a year, so don't even know if people think about that anymore. So it's really up to Boom. I mean, they can pick a carry here or they can pick an offlaner that's good versus Bat. But whatever they pick here needs to be good versus Bat in some capacity, either a save or a carry that can lane versus it.
Yeah. Okay. Does that... Don't worry. I was going to say, does that give you any idea, gods? But look for the Tide.
That hero's pretty good versus Bat. The Kraken Shell will dispel all the stickies. It's not like a hard counter to the Bat, but it is good, and it's a hero that like you don't really want to lasso who's going to sit in the front.
A hero we've not seen at all.
A very long time, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, decent versus Bat. I just don't love like it's kind of like another slower pace hero that I'm not convinced by Tide in being picked here as your offlaner. But at the same time, so many offlaners, like they've been targeting FBZ every single draft with their bans. Like his Beast and Pengo just getting banned constantly, and Slark comes out.
What?
I mean, you don't see Tide, right?
Yeah.
So you don't see the Tide counters.
He's back. We get Slark.
Very interesting. I'm excited to see 23 Savage on that, but I'm also excited to get Mike and Trent in here, our casters. Trent, I'm gonna start with you. This Slark, the Tide, the Marcy. Where are you sitting with it? What are you enjoying? What are you not liking?
I thought it was a really interesting draft. Once they brought up the Bat Rider, there's a lot of questions, as you guys were talking about on the panel, but like, what are we going to do? Like, is it worth it with the Monkey King? And then you see Tide, surprisingly enough, and then Slark. I think this is the 4th Slark in the entire DPC this season.
Wow.
And he is 3-0. So Slark's been winning. So, of course, that's because he's probably getting 10th picked in all of those games, I would hope.
Yeah, I still have no faith in Slark. I don't think it's a good carry hero. Like, it can win as many times as it wants. This hero is no good. It's probably not going to win this game. I think Boom have got this in the bag.
With you both, are you going to be the side of the statistics, go for the Slark, or are you going to be with Mike and say, no, it's a little bit F tier?
I just have no faith in the back going mid this game, so
Okay.
that was like everything that I didn't want them to do, and they're doing it, so I'm going to have to go with Boom.
I'm going Boom as well.
No reason
don't
why.
think so.
Just
Yeah,
going with
no,
Boom.
just
I
feeling
love
it.
it. Well, we're also going to be jumping into game 3 with Mike and Trent.
Well, thank you so much, Nat. As you heard, Trent, Fear and Gods after that Game 2 performance finally agree with me. It must feel real bad being wrong for them too, so it's good for them to jump on the bandwagon with us and go for the Boom Boys here in game number 3. So how are you feeling about these drafts? Like, do you like the Slark? You said it was 3-0, like that matters. Is it a good hero?
Clearly, other people playing the hero means something, right? That makes sense. Well, you know what's cooking. It's Boom. It's it's risky going for the Tide as well as the Slark. I don't know. I feel like Tide's not looking so hot either. Personally, it's kind of an okay game for him, like versus the Bat and stuff. And they desperately needed some team fights. So that part is good. But I wouldn't say I'm super sold on either draft. Can I just can I choose a third candidate?
You
Is
may.
there a write-in option?
Please do.
I choose Fnatic.
All right, there you go. Fnatic has been predicted here by Trent. They'll be playing a bit later on, so we'll see how your prediction goes with them. 5-on-5 engagement could possibly happen, though, Trent. There's a 5-man smoke here from Talon. Right. He'll get his tip.
No. Yeah. Wow. The good luck. No tips back. Come on, guys. Hyde's calling him out.
FBZ. He's a very, what's the word? He's a very stoic man, FBZ. He doesn't say much. He's very, very serious, this man. Just the fact that he gave the tip back surprises me from the start of this Tide Hunter. See how the laning stage just go for the man? Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't even use vowels in his name, you know? That's very serious.
Very true. There is actually quite a bit of a chance that we might see a level 1 team fight here. Talon certainly look like they want one. Boom seem like they don't really want to get involved in a big team fight right now. They do have quite weak level 1 timings. See if they do fight over this bottom bounty rune with KP. They might just try here with Yopaj.
The battle begins.
That's something we didn't really mention at all, as the boundless strike does come in from Tims, but Q still managed to get the bounty away. And Q, he got the bounty, but he gave his life away to the Pos 5 Bane, being played by Skem, so happy days for Boom. But Trent, we've got a Japoi Ember, and there's an old rule in SCA where you never bet against the Japoi Ember.
Ah, yes. True. Okay, fair enough. Do we get to call him by his real name whenever he plays Ember?
Yes.
Is that how we do
Correct.
it? Okay, so he's Japoi today, but every other hero he's still Yopaj.
Well,
Because I mean,
to be fair,
what else makes sense besides spelling your tag backwards, right? That's...
To be fair, his name isn't actually Japoi either. It's just John always explains this to me. It's about the idol thing. Like you spell your name backwards for some reason. It's a Filipino thing apparently, but we don't actually know his real name, believe it or not, Trent.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lore there, I can see.
Yeah, there is. Like, if someone's your idol, apparently, you can also call them your Lottie. It's a Filipino thing. Don't ask me, Trent. All I know is if your page is doing well, we switch to
John at the
Japoi.
beach?
Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? He was burning Boom's jersey earlier, which he might regret after this game, depending on what happens. We should have a look at the lanes, though. Bot lane Skem in big trouble on the Bane is going to be fine. Meanwhile, mid lane now, Makoto getting a hell of a lot of damage off onto Yopaj, but is not going to have the Firefly. Well, does back off, trying to abuse the Flame Break. So action all across the map already, and something tells me this is not going to be such a slow game between these two teams.
No, there's some terrifying stuff happening here. You know, Yopaj really starting to whittle down Makoto. Makoto does get the bottle in time, though. But that eventual Searing Chains, you know, and having the wand on Yopaj just means it's so hard to commit versus this Ember.
Certainly is. Very scary here for Makoto. Now, how's that top lane going? You've got Hyde and Savage on the Slark and the Hoodwink. I suppose there is a lot of kill potential. Like, against the Tide, you might have a very good time as a Slark, and as you build the stacks up, you land a nice bushwhack. Suddenly you've got some kills in your hands. Especially for FBZ, who really has no mobility on the Tide. Do you see any kills kind of occurring here up at top?
It's certainly possible, but I do think this is a pretty cool combo of the Tide plus the Mars. I mean, look at this. Let him chase with the Anchor Smash.
Apologies to 23 Savage. I thought he was going to be the aggressive one, but turns out he's been taken down. So there you go.
Clearly he thought that too. Because, you know.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, FBZ, he'll go for a creep all the way now. Hyde will try to harass him out. It's one of those things with this Slark hero as well, right? Like, if you don't get off to a good start, it feels like the hero just does nothing.
Yes. Slark does contain the angriest player base because they have two desires. They want to get a bunch of kills in the first, like, 2 minutes. And then if that doesn't happen, they immediately start yelling at their support and telling them to leave so that they can get level 6. So, like, it feels like no matter what you do, they're just never happy. I mean, that support players, am I right? Am I wrong? Are they not the worst, the Slark pickers? I feel like it's a common trend.
I can confirm they are the worst, for sure. Them and the anti-mage plays. Just because,
I was going to say, anti-mage is definitely number 2. Everyone thinks anti-mage is number 1, but he's actually number 2.
Yeah, very accurate there. Thank you for that, Trent. Still quiet across all the lanes now. 2-0 the way of Boom Esports. Makoto on the Batrider is the one kind of place I'm looking right now, and that's because it feels like as the Batrider as well, you do want to get off to a very dominant start, kind of what all the hero's all about, and for now, he hasn't really been able to do much against the Ember, and it feels like that time's just never coming now.
Yeah, like Fear was talking about how this matchup, this is something that the Ember players will happily go into. If they think it's a good Ember game, they don't really mind there being a bad. You can sort of see why, right? Like, he just has these 20 charges here. You have the power of just sliding constantly to always, like, whittle down this Batrider. And as long as you keep his HP low, he can't go for that big commitment on you with the Firefly. And then once you get 6, well, then, you know, they have to go for an entire lasso combo to kill you, or you're just going to get away with the Fire Remnant. On top of that, Makoto's probably going to be looking for the neutral camps at some point, and Yopaj might just hunt around with him and try and snag them away with the slides.
He may. We saw Yopaj before slide a fist and using the Quelling Blade on that little tree that was planted by the Acorn shot, but now Makoto going to try and get aggressive, but it may cost him his own life if he's not too careful. Makoto!
There it is.
Oh, he really wanted the kill. Oh, it hurts. It really does.
It really does. I mean, he got a tower range, and he was just waiting, you know? Like, you've activated my trap card, Searing Chains, the tower kills the Batrider, and you have to wonder, didn't you see that coming? Like, you know?
Yeah, you think so. Top lane, Hyde. He's about to go down as well if he's not too careful. The Tims doesn't have any spells to throw out, but the chase is still on. Hyde is going to be fine in the tree line. Tims, though, has a rebound in 1. Has a mango as well if he needs the mana, but isn't going to go for it.
I was half expecting him to fling himself into the tree line there.
That's what I thought. At least Hyde is going to be able to walk his way out the old-fashioned way, but it does seem like the top lane even has gone in favor of Boom as they do make the jump in. Savage does Dark Pact away, but the aggression is certainly starting to ramp up here from Boom. And, well, Tims, he can just chase Savage down now. Just don't let him do anything. He hasn't got level 6 yet anyway.
Low cooldowns on these spells, considering their strength, the rebound and the dispose. So Tims is just run. Oh, hey, what's up?
Oh, he gets the bounty as well.
He even takes it. Oh, imagine we threw him into that neutral camp. That would have been so good.
Double damage. Yopaj going to be able to pick it up for himself, it seems, but Makoto going to try and fight him over it with the Firefly activated. There should not be any kind of kill to come out here as Tims does rotate. Makoto, he really doesn't want to die. Oh, it's a perfect rotation from Tims, and, well, Yopaj, he gets away with everything.
Question marks abound for Makoto's game here. Now the lowest core just below his own Slark. Not a good start for either of these heroes who sort of, you know, they like good starts. Yeah, every hero likes a good start, but especially a Slark and a Batrider. You know, you have items that you need on this hero. Like, what does Makoto do now? Is it a bots game? Can he even get there at a reasonable time?
I'd argue not. It's looking pretty rough for him. I mean, again, it feels like Bat, half the reason you pick it is to just dominate the laning stage, and Yopaj has made it very hard to do so, and now even the siege creep just getting into that tier 1 mid tower. As Hyde's even shown up on the Hoodwink, just in case the Bat Rider needs it. Tim's also around, but it kind of goes to show you how desperate things have gotten in this mid lane already for Talon.
Especially because it's just a level 4 Hoodwink. I mean, the damage isn't really there. Best hopes is you get some sort of a bushwhack to maybe save Makoto, I feel like, especially with the threat of Tim's being nearby. Very scary stuff. Also going to find that observer ward here. Hyde trying to protect it.
They do have lasso up, but Makoto's been caught again. Oh, Dispose is there. Makoto, he's trying to survive. Yopaj, he might just keep going though. Another sleight of fist up, but doesn't have any remnants. Very close call. The rebound, I believe, did no damage to the Bat Rider. Bit of a shame there for Tims, but Makoto, he just can't catch a break.
No, it's a Pyrrhic victory. You live, but I mean, at what cost? You're running all the way back home. Yeah, Hyde just gonna sit here and try and hold things down.
Even Q showing up now. Rebound. Tims looking for the Dispose, not within range though, and the bushwhack not
nice
landing. Japoi gets the cut on the tree as they keep moving. Tims gets the Dispose off. He will die for this, but maybe they can find Q as a trade. Chains out. Hyde, he will drop. Yopaj, how far do you want to go for this? He'll pop the illusions. Q,
oh, no,
yeah, he's feeling it all right, but Makoto's here. It won't matter. He'll remnant away.
Oh, what a menace. He's got no fear. He's just chasing him out of the tower.
You never bet against this man's Ember, Trent. I'm telling you. Never fails. Talon, they're experiencing it right now. Even Skem showing up for some D wards. Maybe they can punish the Bane. They do have lasso ups. They should be able to at least get this, but Nightmare is there. Savage even going to show up. This is all for a Bane, by the way. 4 heroes rotate, but they do at least get the Bane.
We got kills, and you know, Talon, they also have KP. Unfortunately, his first arena, something that they were going to need to maybe get something going their way, is used defensively, and he still dies due to the high mobility of our Ember Spirit here. So another slight issue here. Not a massive lead at the very least for Boom in terms of gold, but it's not looking good. Who's going to save this game? Is it Slark? Can he do it? 20 Savage looking towards a Soul Ring. All right, tread Soul Ring. I like this.
Mid lane, Hyde's going to go down.
We won't look at that.
Yeah.
Look at good news here. Good news for Talon. Come on, Mike. Focus up.
Yeah. Soul Ring's coming. Soul Ring is coming for 23 cents. What does it do? That's the question I have, Trent. What's the bonus of the Soul Ring?
Well, you know, it's Soul Ring. You can get some stats. You know, big turning item. I mean, 2 armor.
Tims? Maybe going a bit deep here. Yopaj, he's trying to follow up. Tims, though, is going to drop. They won't be able to follow up on that. Makoto, able to get away with the kill. In fact, look at that. Hyde, he's going to rejoin his mid right away. Get that bottle filled up. And well, it's all about recovery now for Makoto. Just trying to make this Bat's life as easy as humanly possible.
All the meanwhile, I exist in fear of the Monkey King. Perhaps the most terrifying late game core it feels these days with this Battle Fury build, where he just gets to the point where Wukong's is uncombatible. It's just too much. Kodo.
It's a lot.
He's living though. The chains, you know, he rolls lucky. Will survive.
You are most gracious.
Gonna back his way out.
Structures are fortified.
Back to your earlier point, by the way, Savage does now have that Soul Ring you talked about, so it does kind of feel like a nice item, though. Yeah, it's all over. It does feel like a nice item, though, right? Like you get your HP regen anyway just by being in fog. You know, you have mana issues as Slark, but now you don't. It's pretty nice.
It is good. It just lets him be active and try and get to his next item, stay on the map, try and abuse any mistakes from Boom. It's just there, you know. We're looking for happy thoughts, and currently looking towards a Diffusal Blade next year, relatively cheap these days, and then at least he's got the full item path queued up here of then the BKB and the Aghanim Scepter. So we'll see if that's where he ends up going.
Going for the Ags. Been a long time since I've seen that one, but I love to see it. Those massive pounces coming out as Savage. Going to try and fight Yopaj for a power rune, but it is going to be up top anyway. Ace rune will go the way of the Ember, but bot lane, Arena has been dropped. Jackie, he's going to pop the Wukong's command as Makoto. He gets Fiend's Grip up in a big Ravage FPZ. Makoto's getting tipped by Skem. That's not good news. It's KP. He will try to keep running. Hyde will go down. KP going to try TP out. He does make it. Just barely. But you've lost your mid Bat Rider. You've lost your support Hoodwink again. It just doesn't feel good.
No, amazing first Ravage from FBZ, especially as someone who's rushing the Aghanims? Question mark?
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird one.
That is awesome. I love
though.
this build. I love Arcanes into Ags, I'm not gonna lie. It's not one you get to see very often, but it's hype when it looks good.
The thing is, if you get ahead with the Tide Ags, like this item build up on FBZ, it feels impossible to fight against, right? Like the constant slow, the constant nuke, the constant minus armor. Against the Monkey King and Ember Spirit of all things as well. It's pretty impactful. And now Yopaj, speaking of the devil, is going to show up and claim his 6th kill of the game. 6-0-2 is the Ember.
Yeah, it'll just be constant minus armor. I'm just getting absolutely obliterated from these long-range right clicks of the Ember, and even potentially, of course, a monkey just appearing and taking you down. So a really cool choice by FBZ, owing to partially like having a good lane, right? As also, he's not really pressured to go for an early blink or something. Doesn't need to go for a hood maybe that you might expect in some games where you're having a bit of a rough time. He's just doing great alongside his other 2 cores. And again, it's still a relatively small lead because mostly because of the gold of the supports, I think, from Boom, right? If you look at the net worth chart, you can see this Marcy and Bane are both relatively low, whereas there's a hardy mid-tier of dire heroes, right? The Ench being ahead of both of the Radiant cores. So they're not really far behind, but they got to get some plays going soon here. And this lasso could be one of them.
Yeah, it could be. The Ember's been called out. Bushwhack should follow. In fact, never mind that. They've got the spear. Great play out from Talon. Side will take the kill away, and it's something they desperately needed. Just slow down this Ember. Sure, you've got this Monkey King still farming like a madman, but address one problem at a time.
Eventually, he'll get there, and looks like his Battle Fury is just about done here as well. Finishes that up, and one more creep. So, kind of scary, you know. Already has Treads, Wand, Wraithband, Battle Fury at just before the 15-minute mark. So, it's only going to start accelerating a little bit further now. And Tim's not thinking about this Aether Lens or Blink Dagger that we've seen. He's going right for the BKB. He wants to be in the middle of these fights as the Marcy.
Interesting build-up by Tim's, but, I mean, why the hell not? Seems to be enough. He's already got the urn up, and you don't really need the Spirit Vessel this game. So, he may as well just go straight BKB.
Yeah,
see how that works out for him.
I think it'll help him deal with the arena, and then you think about, like, rebound and dispose, because, like, you can save people from, like, lasso and stuff. You can just, like, chuck them away, and he's just always going to be in range now as the Marcy.
Hyde, get caught out. Yopaj able to quell the tree again as they've got the Hoodwink, but Nightmare is going to be there, taken off by KP as the arena is down, but Fiend's Grip immediately holding down the Mars as Hyde's the one to get out of there in the Hoodwink, but they take a much more valuable kill for the side of Boom anyway.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And then they march down the mid lane. Catapults there. Not that they really needed it, honestly.
Certainly not. Boom Esports still just kind of tearing through this game number 3. I mean, to be fair though, it's less than 1k net worth lead, and props to Savage, who has kept up with the Monkey King very, very well. There's now Tim's. He's scouting out Hyde. Savage is on the chase though. In fact, they've even brought Q over to go for the enchant. There's the diffuse out. Tim's. He's going to dispose, and he does have a rebound, but he can't find a nice angle. Skem was trying to get within range, but not quite there yet, as now Jackie does get caught out by a lasso into the sharpshooter. Oh, they found a great pickoff.
And that's the pick, right? That's all these other issues aside in terms of like laning mid versus the Ember and trying to figure out how to get Bat off to a good start. That is a constant in this game. Grabbing this Monkey King, being able to find him, and the blow up that you can get. They take the lead, Mike. They've got the gold lead for the first time since like 4 minutes.
It's one of those things, like this Talon team, Can't be underestimated. Like, you give a few openings away like that, and they will start to take over. And again, I was kind of giving props to Savage as well, because he was keeping up with the Monkey King very effectively as his Slark. Even if you didn't have the Battle Fury earlier on this Monkey King, still great news here for Talon. Something Savage desperately needed after that bad laning stage he did have. And he should be at the BKB very, very soon for this Slark. So that's when you can really start to get involved here.
Well, and, you know, without having this Blink Dagger, there is no initiation necessarily for, like, a quick Ravage or something. Also, just straight up risky versus a Slark in most times, so... If you fall behind, they are relying on Yopaj to catch and sort of create these opportunities for them at the moment, especially if Jackie's busy farming.
Yopaj, he does have a double damage rune. Could try to go in on the supports of Talon, but decides better of it for now. The Hyde and Q both going to show up mid lane, but Sleight of Fist already kind of used up. They might have to try and settle for the Ench. Yopaj will land the chains. We'll have the heal out, but Tims will be there to follow up. Bushwhack, it won't help enough. So Yopaj, he will take the kill as the Ember. But it is just an Ench kill, not too big of a deal. And they definitely can't go for Roshan right after it. So, boom, they've got to find something else to do.
Yeah, Ember not a hero that's going to help you with any objective, really. He gets the kills, but towers, Roche, not really his forte. It's all right, though, because Jackie's here, so we're good. And they have Sidekick. It's only level 2, but that's all right. As long as the Monkey's here, we can do this. They also have the threat of the Ravage, so even if it takes them a little bit longer, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, this is when things get very fun for Boom. They've got that Ags up on FBZ as well. And again, I feel like this Ags, it just keeps you down. If you're already kind of behind or just struggling against a team, this Ags can be such a nuisance. They don't need the Blink initiation. They've got the chains out from the Ember. They can rely on Tims as well. They just need to be as annoying as possible in this Tide and eventually get a nice Ravage off as Hyde. He's going to break a smoke for his team. Does not get chained up. Might actually find a way out with the Sharpshooter. Doesn't even go for it, though.
Yeah, it looked like he was thinking about it, but couldn't quite find the angle in time, and honestly, probably still dies anyway. So.
Certainly does.
And hey, Yopaj got stuck for a second. You know, he's like, all right, I'll cut my way out of here slowly but surely.
Still going. KP, Savage gonna find Yopaj very soon. Savage, he'll make the jump in. Does land a nice pounce. Spear should be there. That's a big pick off. Tim's trying to help out with the dispose, but the Aegis is gonna go down. So Savage, he can move on to Tim's, but needs to back out of there, it seems. They'll chase down KP instead. BKB has expired, but he gets away.
I remember I just looked up this interaction of Rebound and Leash. You know how that works?
How's that?
Well, I'm trying to remember.
Oh, no.
I think you can get out of it, which is weird.
Oh, you mean when you dispose somebody, or you mean rebounding?
No, like Rebound. I think it just works. Like I don't know if Leash actually. Oh wait, no, sorry, it does stop you, but I think he got pounced mid rebound, so it didn't stop him.
Oh,
which is kind of interesting.
Well, there you go. Tim's gonna move in, but he's been bushwhacked immediately and might just drop. Sharpshooter is gonna be there. Q, he'll get the kill onto Tim's as they keep going for more, but FBZ, he'll pop the Ravage. It'll land on nothing apart from one. It's just gonna be the Ench. Makoto, he had his BKB going, so he's gonna be just fine to walk out of there. Boom Esports, they'll get a 2-for-1 trade on the supports. Nothing to really write home about, but they might slowly be able to start setting up for a tier 2 Talon soon.
All right, yeah, so this is why, because I was looking at this the other day, because I saw something similar happen, where, like, you're mid-rebound and you get leashed, but you're still able to escape, and that's because the way that the spell actually functions is that Rebound launches a projectile on cast, which periodically drags Marcy along with it at a speed of 2,000. Oh. So that's partially why it can like move over trees and like impassable terrain and stuff. And so like the leash in between doesn't actually matter. You just can't activate the spell if you're already leashed. So getting pounced mid rebound like that doesn't actually stop you, which is kind of interesting.
Well, thank you for that. I was not aware of that.
We're all learning together here, folks.
Very interesting mechanic. Like her rebound is a projectile that she throws, and she just follows.
There you go.
It's kind of crazy. Oh.
Would you look at that?
Yeah. Very nice little handy tip to remember, as well, that power rune top side could be a nice little bait here for Boom. Talon do end up falling for it. It is just an illusion though, so not too important. Paj will go ahead and take it. There's Talon. They've got the BKB now up and Savage. It might be around that time you want to force a fight.
That's feeling pretty good.
Maybe.
I mean, there's also the Blink Dagger on Makoto too, so that's sort of a possibility. But, you know, KP can also just lead the way.
Well, nobody's going to smoke though. So they're just kind of doing it the old-fashioned way, and they actually found Tims. The Marcy in a bit of trouble. Savage will get to work, but a nice rebound away thanks to FPZ being in the vicinity. He is able to get out as now Skem looking for a Nightmare into a Fiend's Grip. Not finding one yet. Talon still trying to find an initiation here, but Yopaj will get the chains off onto KP. Lamar's very, very slow right now, but nobody initiating yet. There's your balance out from Jackie, but again, nobody's really committed as now KP jumps in with the arena, only catching FPZ, but they've got Tims down. FPZ, does he have Ravage? It's up in 3 seconds. Savage, he'll pop his BKB and go for a run. But the Ravage is now back up. Talon, do they really want to keep forcing this fight? BKBs are about to wear out. Skem, he's just sitting there in the Shadow Amulet. Nobody knows he's there as the Ravage is now committed. They'll make the jump in. Slides down. KP eventually lands a spear off. That'll be Skem gone, but they do find Q as a trade. Tims, he will buy back and try to move in onto Makoto, but he has the BKB and lasso up. He'll drag the Marcy away, but doesn't have the damage. Instead, we'll go for a run. And in the end, a very messy kind of team fight between these two teams, but I believe it did come out in the favor of Boom. What I'm trying to say is, I'm trying to find the word here. The damn buyback is what I'm trying to say. Considering they did buy back on the Marcy, that could be problematic.
Yeah, it could maybe open up something at a later opportunity while that's still on cooldown. Because like, it is a really good buyback hero again, because like her two best spells are pretty much rebound and dispose, and you know, occasionally sidekick depending on the thing. But like those buyback situations where Tims just TPs into the outpost, he's able to try and get the chase down as they're trying to retreat from a victory at forcing the buyback at the very least. But the Ravage forced out onto Justin's porch was a pretty key moment there. A lot of patience from those Talon cores because of the early use of their BKBs. They didn't want to commit, knowing the Ravage was still up there. Oh, Blink over the gush. KP making
great
plays.
Arena down. KP, 3-man arena out. They've already got Skem down. Tims in big trouble. Should drop here with a dieback, and FBZ's not making it out either. They've got 3 down. What a great setup from KP.
Oh, that was
now
so
they
sick.
would love another. No lasso up though. Surely they can't hold Yopaj down, but he pops his BKB. He'll go for a run. Chase is still going. KP would love another spear attempt, but Yopaj is going to make it out. Still 3 going down for the price of nothing. What a setup from KP.
That was awesome. I'm learning Street Fighter right now, so that reminded me of trying to use my invincible moves through the fireballs to punish. That's what that was. That was KB blinking over the moving gush. You know, you try and zone me with your fireballs, I'm going right through it. Gonna catch 3. Imagine being the shard right there on Mars. You know, that was a prime setup.
Incredible. So Talon now, all of a sudden, back in the lead by 3K. Jackie's still top of the net worth boards, but Savage doing a great job again of keeping up. Only 1K behind on the Slark. Already has 6 points in the permanent Agi, which isn't too bad considering the game that he's had. Once he has the Ags up, this Slark becomes a hell of a lot more slippery.
Yeah, jumping all over the place. And eventually maybe that shard comes up too, something that I find, frankly, one of the most annoying things in the entire game. You know? I'm sitting there, support, thinking I'm outwitting. You know, I'm playing against the Slark, right? And I'm playing Witch Doctor. I buy the shard, thinking I'm all smart with the voodoo switcheroo. He tries to go on me. I'm almost dead. I voodoo switcheroo. And then he pressed his shard. And I was like, well, that doesn't seem very fair. And then I just died. So, you know, it's, how come he gets the great shard too? You know? Help us supports out here. But it's, I don't know. Slark is looking pretty good. As a hero that we don't see very often, it's awesome when players have these heroes in their repertoire to pull out when it is a suitable game. And 23 Savage trying to show us why this hero can still be valuable.
Oh, KP gonna pop his BKB and keep running towards the left side. He has made it. Nice TP away. Poor old Skem just wasn't within range to be able to land the Fiend's Grip. And now mid lane, Makoto, he's rushing for a kill attempt. Skem is around to help out as Makoto immediately blinking away. And now towards the north, they are starting to fight. Yopaj going onto the supports as the Ravage is going to land onto. They'll settle for Hyde and of course Q. Nobody else getting caught out, but it's still a very nice setup here from FBZ. Problem is now the axe is up on Savage. He wants to fight, but he is lacking some teammates. He'll have to back off for now.
Very interesting. I like the way they're setting this up with these Ravages. Just punishing the two supports, like breaking the line of Talon so that they can't really, like, because now they're just immobilized, right? All they can do is go back to their own side and farm. You can't, like, progress too much on the map when you've just lost two supports like this, because they really want that Hoodwink to actually punish during the lasso, right? That's your best chance at maybe grabbing FBZ, maybe get a break, right? That would be huge to try and deal with this Kraken Shell. But there's no real threat to the lasso, I think, without the Hoodwink's damage.
Makoto going for a TP right in, well, not within vision, but right nearby.
Gotcha.
Meanwhile, rest of Talon just remaining grouped up. Double damage. Savage has taken it, but does get stunned up. Still KP. He's in with the arena. They've got Skem already. That'll be a Bane gone. It is a terrifying team fight here for Boomer's Jackie. He'll pop his BKB and the Wukong's command, but can he really survive through this? He's going to go for the man fight, and Savage, he's the one to leave the area. They do not want to fight in the Wukongs right now. They'll wait for it to end, though. Sad part for Talon is Roshan is not up, however. So they get the Skem kill, but that's about it.
Yeah, 48 armor is still a bit too much, it would seem, for a DD Slark, at least. Unless you're going to build up those stacks a little bit earlier. 23 Savage not wanting to fully commit inside of that Wukong's command. It's still a bit too scary. And, well, it's only going to get worse once that Scotty is out here. The scaling of Jackie is very, very real this game. They cannot get complacent on the side of Talon.
Talon still just taking over that Radiant triangle.
FBZ. He's running in here with the gem.
Very confident. Does have his team behind him, but needs to be very careful. He's not that tanky on this tide. Ubaj does get pounced on. Will pop his BKB. You don't have the Ravage to set up a team fight, though. Nice chains out. Remnants forward, but it's not going to be enough. Hyde barely out of there in time with the 4 staff. And boom. Back to the drawing board for them.
Look at this line drawn here from Tim's. He's calling for the full wraparound on the minimap right now. Going through the middle, up the staircase in behind. They're going to get 23 Savage first on the way, though.
Oh, he's broken the smoke.
Just can't do it.
They had the Blink Ravage, but they didn't want to commit with the Dark Pack going.
Can't blame them. It's a very scary spell.
It certainly is. And, well, now it seems like Talon should be very well aware that FBZ has the Blink up, and now you're definitely just going to try and avoid a fight. Unless it's on your terms as Talon. They are still grouped up. They might go for a counter smoke of their own. FBZ jumps in for the invis, doesn't take it. Now the arena is down. He's not going to get that Ravage off in time. Nightmare. It's not going to be enough. He does have buyback if he needs to. Makoto will make the jump in for the lasso, but won't catch Yopaj either. Instead, they're onto Skem. Wukong's command is there. FBZ's going to buy back. Talon, have they gone too far? Nice dispose. It'll catch one. Hyde still trying to run, but it will be both supports dropping once again as Yopaj wants a bit more, but can't catch anyone. KP's out, but Roshan's up. They're going to get it started. Problem is Makoto is still around, and so is KP. They'll try to fight this one out, I think.
They've taken these supports down so many times, they don't even have the gold for the buyback. I mean, it's not even that expensive, but they can't afford it right now. Still driving them out of the pit, though.
Somehow, they get them out of Roshan. Funny thing is, I mean, you still got the Ravage here on the tide, so you'd think that the Roshan fight should be very easy for Boom, but it's just not quite the case right now. Talon still kind of scaring them off there in the Roshan pit, and maybe just needing a bit more than just 2 supports to be able to confidently go after Roshan.
I just keep clicking Jackie's inventory and growing more and more concerned, though. You know, it's just lately this Monkey King, he is so frightening late game. It feels impossible to deal with the Wukong's command. It gets to the point where it's not a potential for you to fight in there. You just have to dodge and avoid it. But in combination with the Ravage and the Ember, dispose, grip, it's going to be really hard to get away. Like, they have so many options to just lock you in place and force you to commit to a fight in that area. So, Talon, though, they want to break up that option by getting the jump first with another smoke. See if they can find someone important here. That Ember nearby.
FBZ's around as well. They could maybe go for a dieback on the Tide, but they can't see him. Meanwhile, Tim's very early BKB activation. Trying to avoid dying to Makoto.
Take care of this fin rot.
Talon. You know, one BKB's down. KP looking for a jump. Does make it onto Tim's with a nice spear back into the tree line. No arena committed yet. Tim's somehow still alive, but eventually might just drop it. No, the stick charges keep him alive. Meanwhile, KP does drop the arena now, but they've got the BKBs out. KP's down. They've got Skim and Tim's down as well on the side of Talon, but well, that'll be enough for them. They'll see the buyback from Skim. They'll back out of there. Once again, both teams quite evenly matched. No team able to secure this Roshan.
And they're still holding Ravage. FBZ just way in the back there. Q was even trying to find him with the ends, trying to run around back there, trying to make sure he could cancel that blink, but he just held it. He waited. And now in they go again.
Gotcha.
They still got that Ravage up. FBZ looking for the big jump.
The decoy?
Not finding it yet. Jackie. Will they back off so maybe Roshan gets started again? Well, maybe not.
You know, I seem to remember this happening in a game really recently. I don't know, like last game, you know? This Roche with the shard, it just can't quite get figured out. You know, he was like 10 HP for me back up to full. Poor Roche. Almost Roshan all the way back up.
It'll get started though, and with the sidekick, it's not going to take too long to take care of this. Talon, they're the ones that need to try and find a way to respond. Roshan's going down way too quick now, however. Do they make it? Still running. Roshan, it's almost gone. There's no way. Aegis on Jackie. Shards on Yopaj. Chains out from Yopaj as well. Savage, he's still going to go for a bit of a dive in, but he's been caught out, and now the Ravage does connect, but a nice forced up away. They just forced up everything on the 23 Savage. Give him another chance at life. And the arena will hold them back. As Talon, do they want to keep trying for this fight? It seems like they do, but they're not going to be able to find anything.
That was amazing. I thought he was dead for sure. I think it was only 2. It was just the Hyde and Makoto. Oh no, sorry, it was 3. Okay, it did look like a throw. It was the Pike as well there from Q. So we have the triple force available.
He just got dragged all across to the high ground.
I mean,
everyone
he
panicking
pretty far, didn't he? Right? Like he just wanted the arcane room, but he kind of you have to overshoot it a bit there.
Crazy. Well, they make it out. Surprisingly enough, and that was the Ravage down for that. So boom, Esports back to the drawing board once again. At least they've got the Aegis on their side of things. The Talon, though, they're still the team that's being more aggressive. Boom seem to be very careful here in this game number 3. Not wanting to give too much away here to Talon, which obviously they've proven to be a very strong kind of organization. And Savage, well, he's almost at those shards now.
Yeah, I fear that eventually, though, it's just going to be someone just gets blown up too fast by Boom. I feel like their ability to instantly eliminate a target is a lot better than the one on Talon. I mean, unless they hit the sharpshooter. That's the big one, right? They need the last one with the sharpshooter. And those are obviously like some pretty big cooldown ones, whereas, you know, Boom, Tim's, if you're just a little bit out of position, he might just chuck you somewhere where then Jackie Boy gets you, you might get bashed, and then you're just gone. Pretty frightening stuff. Also, still really hard to fight into this Wukong's. I do believe in the eventual power of Boom. I'm still on their side here, even with a little bit of a deficit.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
There's a refresher orb now up on KP, though. I mean, you've got the double arena, double spear now. We've seen this before from KP. He's been doing some fantastic work in these team fights to set up. Especially once you have those BKBs down on the side of Boom. Massive openings here for Talon, but well, like you mentioned, it's going to get to a stage eventually where Boom's just going to completely blow somebody up. You're already seeing Jackie critting for almost 800 just with the Boundless Strike alone without Jingu being procced. But Talon, they'll go for a 5-man smoke up. This could be huge for them. But they are still fighting into the Aegis.
Double damage.
Easy, he's
Can
got
they
the
get
Ravage.
the break again? Yeah, that's the question, right? That would be the dream, but that's a risky lasso.
Lasso is there. It's onto Tim's, but FBZ, he gets caught in the arena with the sharpshooter. He's already gone. Now another spear out. It's caught Scam. KP with the perfect initiation once again. 3 down. Yopaj and Jackie, they're out of there, at least for now. But they might try high ground here. Talon, they'll give it a crack.
Oh, they're even hunting the tree line. I feel like Talon just hitting such great spells right now. Like that instant grab onto the Marcy like that. And that allows for the lasso. Because like they have to target her, right? Because, you know, she's going to get lasso saves on other people and everything. Then they get the break onto the Tide. Instantly blown up. You know, that's the blow up that I'm fearing from Boom. But Talon are executing flawlessly, coming out of the fog like that versus an Aegis.
Oh, Jackie's in big trouble. He's been held down forever, and he's going to lose that first life. He needs to delay this bot tier 3 tower dropping. Somehow, he'll pop the BKB. 2-man boundless strike out, but Savage is just stealing so many stats away here on the Slark. They still chase him down. Sharpshooter will not connect, but they're onto the bot racks now, Talon. And they've got one. Boom Esports dropping the ball here a little bit, and it does cost them 1 lane of racks. This Talon, that was against the Aegis as well, Trent. They just get away with murder.
It was just flawless. Like, they took the best targets they could. Then the Bane goes down, so then they're not as scared about jumping on Jackie there because there's no Nightmare saves. So they're able to just like burn through that. The turnaround potential's not there. They can go in confidently with their BKBs. Everything just going Talon's way over the past couple of minutes, and they're still feeling very confident here.
They are. Skem gets caught out. Tim's, he accidentally BKB'd earlier on, so he's got no BKB available right now. He's going to be forced to fight. This KP will chase him down, but instead they've got Japoy locked down. But a big Ravage FBZ. He's in, trying to turn this one around. Can they do it? They've got one down, but Hyde, he's going to buy back. There goes Q on the edge. KP trying to back out of there. Major drop as Japoy makes the jump in. They've got a double. They 1 racks down, but they do manage to defend the second time around.
All right, perhaps a little too confident here, it would seem.
Certainly feels that way. I mean, Talon, you're doing great, but you can't be too confident. It's still Boom Esports.
You got big items, no doubt. But, you know, refresher on cooldown, BKB is starting to run a little bit low. You don't have the double stuff up anymore. And what a Ravage as well. The best one he's had the entire game from FBZ. And the damage he can output is just ridiculous after a Ravage. With that gush. I mean, he did as much damage as the Ember in that fight. Only like 100 damage less. That was crazy.
Huge Ravage indeed. Now you've got Refresher Orb. I thought I saw a Refresher Orb up on Japoy, unless it's just on the courier. Has it disappeared? I could have sworn he just bought one out. Or was that the Ags? In fact, I think it was the Ags he just bought out.
Yeah, it must have been, yeah.
That's also big. The Talon, I mean, they're off to a great start for this game. Almost 40 minutes in now, and still a 6k net worth advantage, and props to Savage. He is actually ahead of Jackie now on that Monkey King. Can they finish it off, though? Can they really get this 2-1 victory over Boom? Because that'd be just huge for Talon.
That's the Slark player question. Can they finish, though? Can they finish the game, you know? They all get ahead. They get really excited. I'm unkillable. Look how many stacks I have. And then, you know, that BKB's not there, and they just missed that Dark Pack button just by a hair.
Oh,
can't happen.
Boy. I mean,
you know what I'm waiting for though? I'm waiting for like the Ravage, and then they miss 23 Savage, and he comes in with a Depth Shroud save. You know,
amazing.
Comes in, saves them, holds them, hides them from the wrath of Jackie.
Indeed,
maybe that's what they need.
That could be the way to do it. It's kind of crazy how these Div 2 teams just come up to Div 1 and suddenly just start dominating everyone. Like we saw RSG last week against T1, and they pulled off the victory against them. It's kind of just insane how upper division's just been flipped altogether on SCA. It's great news, of course. The region's always been competitive, but now it's like ultra competitive in 2 or 3.
Yeah, as the leagues have been going, that, you know, obviously the second division is just getting stronger and stronger as more players start to see like the value in playing there, and they're all learning and growing, and we have this exchange of teams from tier 1, from like Division 1 down to Division 2, and you know, even just when we start next year too, you got to imagine it's just gonna get stronger and stronger all over the world. It truly is glorious, especially in regions like C, where it just feels like it runs so deep.
Yeah, it certainly does. It's in the blood of everyone here. As we have another request for some time, as Tim's needs a second before he gets the unpause going.
Better hurry in case you love some power. I'm just saying. You don't want to use your pause time on this. You gotta save it for the blackouts, man.
Oh, don't say that. Goodness me. I've had some terrible experiences with blackouts here in the Philippines, and even our last series. I don't know if you were watching a little bit. Trent,
I caught a little bit of that.
Yeah,
I was just rousing myself from a sleep, and I saw that there had been a forfeit of sorts.
it was rather sad how that series did turn around, but you know, what can you do? There's Talon. Hopefully no blackouts here. Boom. Getting not out of this game yet, but they are 7k behind, 1 racks down. Talon in prime position. They're in the driver's seat right now. It's just going to be all about focusing next Roshan and then going high ground once again. And for this luck, obviously, just finish out the game.
Sometimes it's stressful being the driver. You know, there's a lot of things to keep an eye on. There's pressure on you, and you know, maybe just being the passengers of Boom as this game goes along. Maybe it gives you the opportunity to respond to mistakes from your opponent a little bit easier.
That's a fair point. Certainly stressful driving these days.
How is this ward alive back here, by the way? Great ward from Boom, way near the Dire base. It's scouting this courier heading back, so giving some intel. And versus a Slark, you don't often have a ward last this long.
Very true. Just hasn't
and
been
it's
scouted
actually
out yet.
spotting these moves right now. Yeah, it's his Q, it's his KP, and Makoto, so they might even know that this is a group up happening.
They should. They should have seen everything. The Talon haven't committed anything like a smoke yet, but it should be very, very obvious now that they probably are intending on committing one. But for now, they are just kind of sticking together. No smoke being prepped yet. Talon, they'll just take care of the mid wave, and there's your smoke out. Now, that wasn't caught by the Obs ward, to be fair. But again, they know they're grouped up, so chances are that Boom should know to back off immediately, and that's kind of exactly what they'll do. They'll just stick as a team in that radiant triangle and not let Talon have their way with them.
All right. So right now, the only buyback they know about is Marcy, in terms of Talon knowing what Boom's got, right? But currently, there's no buyback on the Tide, there's no buyback on the Ember, and there's no buyback on the Monkey King. So,
oh boy.
Radiant are scanning.
This is a frightening prospect.
Oh, this team fight, if it goes Talon's way, I mean, 2 racks is up. Almost guaranteed here for Talon if they can win a team fight, but Boom, can't let that happen. They've got many BKBs up. They've just got to pop them at the right times, and well, it should make it very hard for Talon for this next team fight. Still, both teams avoiding each other for now, though KB, very aggressive position, does get hit by a gush. Immediate smoke there from Boom. They might want to just try and catch him. They won't see him yet. They'll see Savage in the mid lane, popping his Dark Pack, so maybe they can pop in for a Ravage. Savage is there. Immediate remnants out from Yapaj. They want to blow him up, but he's still alive. Shadow Realm is there. He is surviving as Savage. He can get to work now. Instead, they'll try to focus down KP. Another arena down. KP somehow still alive. Boom. They're all trapped up. Another arena down. 2 on 2. As maybe now, maybe they can take this team fight. Talon still just poking and prodding from outside. In comes Makoto, but not quite able to get any damage out. Instead, it's all Q on this end, just getting all the damage out with these impetus shots. They found Jackie. No buyback available.
Those
Makoto.
arenas. I mean, the BKBs wore out, and they were just getting jabbed by spears. They couldn't do anything.
I wonder how much damage Q got off in that team fight. I mean, he was just throwing impetus shots over and over again, and they were just trapped.
The way. You're right. 5,187 damage. The next highest was 3k by KP himself. That was a lot of damage from a support Eng.
He just kept going. He was just screwed. I'm an Eng. They're stuck in arena. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. He was just poking the bear, and the bear couldn't do anything this time around. There's now, Roshan's up. Perfect timing here for Talon. Obviously, they don't realize there's no buybacks available on Boom. Otherwise, they'd probably be rushing through the mid lane right now. So instead, they'll go for the safe play, go for Roshan, but that's an Ag's blessing on the way now for Talon.
I mean, I feel like Q has earned the Sproink. I mean, we never get to see it. You know, now's your time.
So they'll give it to Makoto, I think. Get that double lasso going.
I mean, that's like a good choice. But we could have hit Sproink.
Sproink would have been lit. It's not going to happen. But now you have 4 lassos, Trent. 4 lassos. Refresher orb up.
With an Aether Lens as well. So there you go.
Very pogged. Even a double damage rune being spotted out here by Hyde down at the bot rune spot. If they wanted to back off and pick it up, and I think they just may. Boom Esports backs against the wall now. 18k net worth behind.
This is some wild stuff too when you have the double lasso, because if you have a way to break the lasso, if you break the initial link from the bat to the first target, the other target actually still stays lassoed to the other target. So it looks really funny. Oh boy. And just drag around your ally.
Bet it does. Probably not for Boom though. It's our Talon.
Not a lot of funny stuff for Boom right now, that's for sure.
No, not at all. What do you do now? I mean, if you're in this game, you're Boom Esports, what do you do in this game to try and pull this victory back your way?
Just talk about Wukongs. Be like, guys, we got this. I got Wukongs. It's fine. The arenas are a big deal because he has double arena and they last so long. And your BKBs, they only last a little bit of time. You know, they don't have the refreshers. They don't have those choices here. So KP to me is probably the prime target.
Oh, FBZ, he's gonna be all right. Hyde has his smoke broken, but Talon, they want to go for the jugular right here, right now with this double damage rune on Savage. He also has a refresher orb, so double shadow dance, double depth shroud. This could be very, very frustrating to have to try and deal with for Savage.
I think he can just kill someone, like, while invulnerable.
Maybe. He's not going for it, though. He's being very patient. Talon, they wanted to sneak through the bot lane and try to pick somebody off that way, but they won't find the opening. It's very hard in these instances, right, as well for Talon, because now you're in the winning position. It's your game to lose, and they don't want to be in that position where they do throw the game. And boom, they're known for these comebacks. So you've got to be very, very cautious now as Talon.
It's frightening because they're all huddled so close to this Ancient, trying to avoid the blink in from the lasso, but what if that opens up an arena, you know? They're all so clustered.
Well, KP's been very good with the arenas this game. Practically always is. And tier 3
when this tower goes down, they're going to get the ward down too.
Oh, double lasso! Makota's caught FBZ as well. He'll BKB up. Arena's down on the backside, but the Fiend's Grip is going to hold down KP. Still 23 Savage is there to help him out. Yapaj, he's going to keep trying to fight as well. They're just trying for the Mars. They've got him down. Savage in trouble, but will pounce out. They do get a buyback out of Tim's. That was a 2-for-1 trade. Age is still up on Talon, but they might just back off without their Mars now.
I mean,
or will they?
There it is, though. Believe in the Wukongs. Unfortunately, it's not there for another minute. They have to hold out, but that massive Wukongs, they just can't fight into it. And getting that tower was massive because if they can get some vision up here, that's going to open up the next lasso.
Oh, they've got another one. Lasso out. They've caught 2. Yopaj and Tim's both caught out. They'd love the dieback on the Marcy, and they've got it. Tim's is down. Yopaj on the backside, but Jackie's been caught out. FBZ trying to save the day. Savage, he's still fighting. He'll lose the Aegis. Jackie, in the meantime, going to drop to Q, who does get the bit of shot off. Maybe they can put a lid on this one. Jackie's brought back, though. They're going to have to keep this fight going. Yopaj, he'll back out of there. Throwing everything but the kitchen sink to protect this mid-racks. And Trent, nobody from Talon died. Everyone's still up. Well, I suppose the Hyde Hoodwink did die, but he did buy back.
He came back in, and, you know, KP, he's irrelevant. It's fine. He did his thing. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle barracks.
Gripped into a death there. The Wukongs is there, though, so coming back up to poke and prod. Q very confident here, I must say.
Well, he's got a leveler. He's just hitting the structures for his team. He's got a leveler up. Q's borderline just won Talon this game. With the couple little plays he's made here, he's just really winning Talon this game.
He's certainly flying above his station right now as the Ench. You know, getting way more done than one would expect now. Closer to eclipsing the Tidehunter in terms of net worth between this Witchblade, BKB, Hurricane Pike, and also that early Falcon Blade was also a pretty cool pickup.
1 Rax now available for Boom. But they are so far behind. 25k net worth. Advantage for Talon. Believe Fear himself said it last panel in last week. He said 20k plus net worth, you're basically, the game's basically over. So, I mean, Talon, they're in a great position. Again, Trent, it's all about not throwing the game. You have a Slark on your team, though, so who the hell knows?
Yeah, that is true. That pounce goes pretty far, you know? One bad angle and suddenly you're in the enemy fountain. There's a dispose, there's a Fiend's Grip, and you are just gone. It is a real situation, and I don't think there's a Lincoln still, right? So, you know,
Not quite.
At the very least, that is still there. The multiple Lincolns, by the way, the Agnums on the Batrider, incredible from Makoto. He's constantly dodging the Lincolns, and he's grabbing these Lincolns heroes because the Lincolns doesn't block on the second lasso target, as many of you probably know. Because technically, the Lincolns is actually cast from your ally onto you, and so there's no Lincolns proc on it.
Wow. Well, there you go. They might catch up Makoto here on the Batrider.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Talon gonna back off to the high ground once again. Oh, double damage rune. Gonna be scouted by Tims. Another 50-minute game.
Say it, Mike.
I'm not gonna say it this time. I want tier 5 items. I'm not saying it. Oh, goodness me. I don't know. I mean, boom, they're still in it. But you're in that territory now where you might have to start thinking about Divine Rapiers. Honestly, like 2 racks is down. You've got an Ember, you've got a Monkey King. It might just be Divine Rapier time. Though Talon, it might be just time to end the game. They've smoked up. Savage, he'll hang around the mid lane, just trying to bait Boom Esports to rush forward. Nobody coming for him, though. He's fine.
I think what's terrifying is that 23 Savage chooses to still hold this Moonshard over something else. It really just shows you, like, the attack speed inside of a refreshed Shadow Dance. There's not many people that are going to be able to survive that.
It's a lot of damage, that's for sure. Again, Talon, they're setting up for this top lane of barracks. Hard defense to come for Boom. And Talon, if they get given enough time, they'll just go right after Mega. So FBZ gonna jump in, has the refresh orb as well, will commit it immediately, and they might be able to wipe them now. KP's gone. They haven't got the initiation, but do they have the fight? They've got Lasso out onto Tims, and that'll be 1. They'll go for more now. Refresh is out. Jackie, he's jumped in though. FBZ, he's there. The Fiend's Grip has caught out Makoto, but the Shadow is there to protect, but not for long. Makoto's gone. And now Savage. He's a bit of a sitting duck here on the Slark, but he will pounce his way out. Have they found him? Oh, they found him. Yopaj, he'll get the chains off. The godlike spree will go the way of Jackie, and Boom Esports, they are holding.
FBZ! The refresher catches 3 on the low ground, and right before that happened, KP's just pinging. Tidehunter is missing. Tidehunter is missing. And then out he comes like Jaws. They could hear the music, and he erupted from the ocean. And he just, like, the targeting on KP is so crucial. Ever since that fight near the Roche Pit, where they got double arena'd and just poked to death, he has had this humongous target on his back. And to be revealed that close to the base, bit of a mistake there. I mean, great observer and sentry placement, of course, from Boom, just to, like, you know, open up that whole fight. But tough stuff here.
A cheeky little jump in there from Jackie. Roshan is up. Skem. Oh, gonna find out the hard way. Q hits very hard right now. Is gonna go down. They've got the pain. Roshan, once again, is up. Big deal for either of these teams. It's going to have everything available on it. The Aegis, the Shards, the Refresher Shard, or rather the Refresher, the Aghanim Scepter, the Refresher Shard, everything. Cheese, whatever you want.
Carry it all, you know? How do I hold all of these beautiful new items?
You don't. Most of them, you just kind of put them away, you know?
Yeah.
53 minutes in. In we go.
Probably get a Hunter's Boomerang coming up here, maybe? I feel like that could be kind of hype. Although it's difficult to use it. If you had the Tide on your team, you get the Hunter's Boomerang. But more than likely, we'll probably get to see KP get the eggs this time. Well, that is, of course, if they get it, because you never know
what about
how
the
things have been
Sprink?
Going. But I think it's safe to say now that this is theirs.
Why? What about the Sprink, though, Trent? Why not the Sprink?
I've been hurt too many times before. I think it's too bad.
The Savage is probably going to take it anyway, let's be honest.
Sprite!
Oh, he's got it. He's got it.
Oh my god. I think I've
Sprite.
seen this like twice since it was added. I feel like once he lost all the damage on Impetus, this Aghanim's died. Come on, Q. Just hit it once. I know you want to. It's a 5-second cooldown. Just press it. Here. Come on. Come on. Oh, Sprite. Sprite for me. Nothing. Wow.
Unfortunate. What can you do? You know, it happens.
He has such better patience than I. I would just be spamming this thing right now just because it's been so long. I feel like surely he doesn't even remember what it looks like.
We'll see. He'll find out very soon. Not many buybacks available here for Boom. Many more available for Talon, that's for sure. A couple good lassos, this game is just over. FBZ, a lot of weight on his shoulders to land another great Ravage out. Tim's going to jump in, but does not find the dispose. Still, Yopaj is out as well. Where's he headed? BKB's pop. He's going for the fight on his own. Onto Hyde, trying to find the Hoodwink, but KB trying to follow him down. Yopaj just bouncing across the top lane. He just won't let them catch him. He's fine. Instead, Lasso is onto Skim.
That was kind of sick. So he spends all that time trying to burn their spells and trying to like reveal where they are, right? He's trying to open up good Ravages for FBZ. And he's feeling good about it in the end because he gets out of there. But they utilize that time as well from Makoto to not only defensively beat KB, but he finds Skem. Getting a big gradient lurking out there. Does still have the buyback. Doesn't want to burn it though. Feel like he might have to.
They're going to try again. Yeah, I mean, don't forget, you've got all the remnants back up. Oh, no, you don't actually. You already used the refresher orb.
And this Aeon disc on KP is clutch.
Dims, and they jump. Lasso committed. Buyback is there. Skem, he will be out as the Ravage is great. FBZ setting up for a good team fight. BKB's a pop though. KP, he'll get the arena down. He'll refresh. Meanwhile, Savage dropping very, very low. In trouble. Is going to refresh himself as they do save Hyde on the Hoodwink. Can they keep going? There's still another Ravage. FBZ looking for that opportunity, but not going to find it. Somehow Hyde survives on the Hoodwink. And I believe that was the Depth Shroud coming up from Savage. Buying him that little bit of time and healing to save his life.
There's still another arena
might try it
here.
again.
There's no Wukongs. I don't know. I feel like he might have to get the refresher. It feels like they just need that Wukongs to actually get the damage for the finish. And that time, they did a great job on Talon. They did not go in, right? They stayed back. The Wukongs would wait inside the base, and they waited it out.
Talon really want to go high ground. They'll get started. KP, he's in. 3-man arena. Lasso's out. They've got Jackie on the Monkey King, and he's going to drop. He will have buyback, but he'll have to commit immediately as Yopaj is going to jump in. Refreshes. He'll catch Hyde on the Hoodwink. That's one down. He'll have buyback for KP now. He's dropping way too down low on the Mars. He's gone as well. They've both got buyback, but it seems like Talon, they're going to back out of there. They'll come back another day, perhaps. Or will they? Still hanging around. Might jump back in.
Chase. There's still an Aegis on this Slark, so FBZ still just holding this out of their Ravage. A stressful game here for Talon.
It certainly is. Trent, I'm going to go ahead and say it. There's less than 3 minutes for tier 5 items.
Okay. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, the game will now end at 59 minutes. Thank you very much. Or at the very least, they won't have an opportunity to find said items if the curse shows its ugly head again here.
Illusion.
At the very least, the Aegis soon to expire here. Just another minute for 23 Savage, so unlikely to see combat once more. But Boom getting in here very deep to push this middle lane. The last time they were out this far, I don't even know if they've seen this part of the map. Things probably look different. New rivers, mountains perhaps, tectonic movements. It's likely unrecognizable to them.
It certainly is, I'm sure. FBZ will make the jump in, but finds nothing. The top lane is being forced in, but they're trying to find a pick off Q. Is going to be fine. The Sprink coming in handy. Meanwhile, Savage, he's pushing in top lane. You're going to have to go back and address this Slark, but they'll try to at least get a tier 2 tower out of this. Maybe even try to force a defense out of Talon. But it doesn't seem like they'll have the time.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Just a minute and a half till the big items. And you know, a 20k lead. One could say some of these items, you know, altogether certainly could be worth upwards of 30k or so. You know, some pretty valuable stuff on the ground.
Certainly. We all want to see the Giants ring, but I think all the players want the Ex Machina. We all know it.
Yeah,
they
those
want refresh
BKBs.
on refresh.
It's a bit much.
Makoto going in. Lasso. No, Lincoln's broken. Japoi, he's going to be okay. There's your refresher orb up on the monkey. So they've got the double Wukong's command available now on a 5-man smoke up.
That's a big Venn diagram. You know, okay, if they hit the Ravage, I'm concerned. Because the Wukong's, the double Ravage. Ooh, Revenant's Brooch now out here for Q. Who is this Ench? She's almost up to the Monkey King.
She's huge. Hide. Oh, they're just wrapping around right now. Boom, going all the way from the backside, trying to get within the rear, but Talon doing a great job. Good game sense. Going back towards the low ground, avoiding Boom Esports, who do show themselves now in the mid lane. I can't believe Boom have been outside of the base for this long, and 15 seconds, Trent. We're almost there.
It's not like last game. There's no crazy split push happening. There's no Nature's Prophet on the sides. It's balled up Dota right now. We're all just hanging out, grouping up. Safety in numbers, they say. Trying to
get it. Somebody
go
hit
for
a
the buddy
jungle camp.
system, and that's a 60-minute haste rune. Not very exciting. Not what he was looking for, that's for sure.
Hit some jungle camps, people. Oh, FBZ. Gonna get caught out. Lasso, no. Kraken does kick in. He'll get the BKB off. He'll be just fine.
Oh, this is ugly, Dota. This is not the fight anyone wants. We want an organized team fight, they say.
You say that, though. Ember is going to jump in. Yopaj will start the fight. FBZ looking for a Ravage. Has found the backside. Hide. He's going to buy back immediately. Meanwhile, towards the south, Wukong's command is out. Arena is down. Who's winning the team fight, though? Scam is already gone without buyback. He's still going to try here on the Monkey King to fight back against Savage. And it looks like they've gotten the Slark in big trouble. Savage, he'll get the Shadow Dance off. Still trying to man up. Another Arena's down, but a big Ravage out. FBZ. He might have set up for this one, but no, the Shadow Dance still keeping Savage alive as Jackie does go down. He has no buyback. Oh, Yopaj, he's been left alone. They'll buy back, but it's a 2v5 situation. Oh, and Trent, there's no tier 5 items. What have I done?
Carry was Q all along. We should have known. Oh, he's going for the Dagon. He's trying to find anything he can on Yopaj. He's not giving up quite yet, he says.
Here we go. Tier 4 tower gone. I mean, I don't know how you defend. Dagon 5 up. Yopaj is going to try and do it himself. More Dagons being bought up. The Ancient is in trouble. They'll hex up, or rather pounce up this Yopaj Ember, and he's gone. The game's over. Talon, they've done it. A 2-1 victory in something that I don't think anyone believed before we went into this game, or rather series. But Boom Esports has lost 2-1 to Talon Esports. Oh, these Div 2 teams, Trent, they came up to Div 1 with a vengeance.
Look at that. Look at the happiness. I think you can see a bit of the disbelief in those around them right now. Just like, we did it. That was awesome. I mean, you got to have the belief and the faith in yourself. But sometimes, you know, maybe it's a little bit forced faith and belief. And then when it actually happens, you're just like, yes, we are awesome. We are ownage. And Q, what a gamer. What a player. Ends the game, ahead of several of his allies in terms of net worth and damage. The most damaging hero on the side of Talon. What more can you ask for from your Ench player?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic series overall. Again, congrats to Talon. I can't wait to see who they get for an interview and what they have to say, but I'm sure it's going to be a very exciting interview. Trent, with that, we are going to head off to a short break, but right after that break, we've got a post-game panel and an interview with one of the Talon boys. So we'll see you all again after a very short break.
Talon have done it. They've bested Boom in this series, and what a series it was. Game 3 shaped up to be such an amazing matchup between these two. That laning phase did not go the way I expected, right? Talon struggled so much more, but they were able to bounce back in very magnificent fashion. Fear, if you wanted, I know that bat, you did not like it going up in that mid matchup at all. Just how bad was it really for bat?
He got solo killed by the Ember at level 5. After that, he died again, and I think he had was it 3 deaths in the mid lane? It was an hour-long game, hard to remember. But he got owned. He was the lowest net worth on all the cores in the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, that laning stage was pretty bad for him. And also, I feel like all the lanes were doing really well for Boom in this game.
Yeah, it is crazy to see them do so well in that laning phase. I would say they even had, quite an advantage in that earlier part of the game into the mid, but Talon really, really, really bounced back, Gods. What do you think one of those big key contributors could be?
I mean, seeing some of these highlights, we saw a few of these big team fights. Like KP had some really clutch initiations, like that big Mars arena before in the river. And I also just think, to me, the hero matchups was always going to favor them. I think if this game dragged out, particularly just Slarks. This was a dream Slark game. 23 Savage. The lanes in the start wasn't the ideal for Talon, but the longer this game goes, the more farm and time that Slark had. At no point was there really going to be anything that truly threatened this Slark in like late game Dota, and I think 23 Savage, a lot of carry players, they get that dream game, and they get put in that position where, hey, this is going to be a tough game, but you're the one who can carry it, and they don't capitalize. 23 Savage shows he is that guy. He can carry the game.
Was there anyone that stood out for you, Fear, on Talon that also really contributed to them being able to come back so strongly?
Yeah, definitely. After seeing Batrider's rough start, I kind of looked at the Inch, and I was like, wow, Inch has a Falcon Blade. Bat is kind of dying a lot, but it's making space for Inch, and at some point in this game, this Inch just took off, and it even felt like he was just solo killing the Monkey King in a lot of the late game team fights, doing tons of damage. So for sure, Inch MVP for me of this game.
Is that also going to be your MVP, Gods?
Yeah, I'm with Fear.
Ride or die with Fear on that one. How impressed were you guys with Talon just overall in this series? Some of their ability to not only bounce back, but also really capitalize on a few mistakes Boom were making here or there.
I think Talon right now, every single series that they've won, which is their third series win, it's been in a third game, so
yeah, it has been.
They like taking it long.
Yeah. they seem pretty stable though. They're not. I mean, I think Fears when you said it earlier, it's it seems like a lot of the teams in SE are prone to some throws here and there, and Talon seems to be one of the few teams not in that group of teams.
Yeah, this is also another Marcy game that we've seen a loss for. How sold are you guys that this is a hero? Just please forget about it. I'm not saying she was the make or break, right? I want to clarify that. She wasn't the make or break, but she's really not shaping up to be something spectacular that many thought she would be getting added to Captain's Mode.
Yeah, and game one, I think she was ignored entirely, not
completely.
picked or banned. Yeah, Marcy's not looking too high. I'm not convinced Marcy's a first phase hero. I think the hero definitely has a place. It's not completely useless, but I think you got to make sure you have the right draft around it.
Yeah, she ended up losing game 2, ended up losing in game 3 here as well. But like I said, Talon were victorious in this series, which means we get to have a winner's interview with them. It is going to be Hyde joining us. Hyde, congratulations on the win. How does it feel to take down the titans such as Boom in this series?
Yeah, it's fun and it's pretty nice to play against them. It's a fun game. I like it.
Yeah, how were you feeling throughout the drafts for these 3 games? Did anything take you by surprise or prepared for all of it?
I think in the second game we kind of picked the Melissa too fast, I guess, and we put the Marcy in the safe lane instead of in the offlane with the NP, so NP had a stronger lane, and that kind of our mistake for the second game, so I think that's all.
Okay.
I'm curious, you mentioned the Marcy on the new patch that's new here in Captain's Mode. What are you feeling about Marcy's place in the current patch? It seems like a lot of teams are struggling to make Marcy work.
I think Marcy now is only post 4 in my opinion, because you can go to mid easy like her spirit, I guess, some type of hero, something like that. But in the late game, the hero is pretty bad.
All right, so you guys just beat Boom, and you're 3-0 now. Are you guys confident that you probably going to make it to the major now? You feel like you're one of the strongest teams in Division 1?
Yeah, I feel like we're confident to play against anything. And yeah, it's good fight all the time.
Yeah.
It's been great fun watching you guys on Talon. Thank you so much again, Hyde, for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See ya. Well, that is gonna be it for this first series. We can have a quick look as well at the standings so everyone knows where it is. It is Talon out there on top, looking great, having won every series that they've been in, and Boom now being split right down the middle. One win, one loss for them. Probably a little bit more of a shock, something people aren't really expecting when it does come to a team like Boom. But we are going to be jumping to a break as we want to jump quickly into our last series of the day, which is going to be Fnatic up against RSG.